There were once a man and a woman who had long in vain wished for a child. At length it appeared that God was about to grant the desire. These people had a little window at the back of their house, which a splendid garden could be seen, which was full of the most beautiful flowers and herbs. It was, however, surrounded by a high wall, and no one dared to go into it, because it belonged to a witch, who had great power and was dreaded by all the world.
One day, the woman was standing by this window and looking down into the garden, when she saw a bed which was planted with the most beautiful rampion, and it looked so fresh and green that she longed for it. She quite pined away and began to look pale and miserable. Her husband was alarmed and asked, "What ails you, dear wife?"
Ah, she replied, if I can eat some of the rampion which is in the garden behind our house, I shall die. The man who loved her thought, sooner than let your wife die, bring her some of the rampion yourself, let it cost what it will.
At twilight, he clambered down over the wall into the garden of the witch, hastily clutched a handful of rampion and took it to his wife. She at once made herself a salad of it and ate it greedily. It tasted so good to her, so very good that the next day she longed for it 3 times as much as before. If he was to have any rest, her husband knew he must once more descend into the garden. Therefore, in the gloom of evening, he let himself down again. But when he had clambered down the wall, he was terribly afraid, for he saw the witch standing before him.
How can you dare, said she with angry look, descend into my garden and steal my rampion like a thief? You shall suffer for it.
"Ah," answered he, "let mercy take the place of justice. I only made up my mind to do it out of necessity. My wife saw your rampion from the window, and felt such a longing for it that she would have died if she had not got some to eat."
The witch allowed her anger to be softened, and said to him, if the case be as you say, I will allow you to take away with you as much rampion as you will. Only I make one condition. You must give me the child which your wife will bring into the world. It shall be well treated, and I will care for it like a mother.
The man in his terror consented to everything. When the woman was brought to bed, the witch appeared at once, gave the child the name of Rapunzel, and took it away with her.
Rapunzel grew into the most beautiful child under the sun. When she was 12 years old, the witch shut her into a tower in the middle of a forest. The tower had neither stairs nor door, but near the top was a little window. When the witch wanted to go in, she placed herself beneath it and cried,
"Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair to me."
Rapunzel had magnificent long hair, fine as spun gold, and when she heard the voice of the witch, she unfastened her braided tresses, wound them round one of the hooks of the window above, and then the hair fell 20 ells down, and the witch climbed up by it.
After a year or two, it came to pass that a prince rode through the forest and passed by the tower. Then he heard a song which was so charming that he stood still and listened. It was Rapunzel, who in her solitude passed her time in letting her sweet voice resound. The prince wanted to climb up to her and look for the door of the tower, but none was to be found. He rode home, but the singing had so deeply touched his heart that every day he went out into the forest and listened to it.
Once, when he was thus standing behind a tree, he saw a witch came there, and he heard how she cried, Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair to me. Then Rapunzel let down the braids of her hair, and the witch climbed up to her.
"If that is the ladder by which one mounts, I too will try my fortune," said he, and the next day when it began to grow dark, he went to the tower and cried, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair to me." Immediately the hair fell down and the prince climbed up.
At first Rapunzel was terribly frightened when a man, such as her eyes had never yet beheld, came to her. But the prince began to talk to her quite like a friend, and told her that his heart had been so stirred that it had let him have no rest, and he had been forced to see her. Then Rapunzel lost her fear, and when he asked her if she would take him for her husband, and she saw that he was young and handsome, she thought, "He will love me more than old Dame Kotal does." And she said yes, and laid her hand in his.
She said, "I will willingly go away with you, but I do not know how to get down. Bring with you a skein of silk every time you come, and I will weave a ladder with it. And when that is ready, I will descend, and you will take me on your horse."
They agreed that until that time he should come to her every evening, for the old woman came by day. The witch remarked nothing of this, until one Rapunzel said to her, "Tell me, Dame Gothel, how it happens that you are so much heavier for me to draw up than the young prince. He is with me in a moment."
"Ah, you wicked child," cried the witch. "What do I hear you say? I thought I had separated you from all the world, and yet you have deceived me." In her anger, she clutched Rapunzel's beautiful tresses, wrapped them twice round her left hand, seized a pair of scissors with the right, and snip-snap, they were cut off, and the lovely braids lay on the ground. And she was so pitiless that she took poor Rapunzel into a desert, where she had to live in great grief and misery.
On the same day that she cast out Rapunzel, however, the witch fastened the braids of hair, which she had cut off, to the hook of the window, and when the prince came and cried, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair to me,"
She let the hair down. The prince ascended, but instead of finding his dearest Rapunzel, he found the enchantress, who gazed at him with wicked and venomous looks. "Aha!" she cried mockingly. "You would fetch your dearest, but the beautiful bird sits no longer singing in the nest. The cat has got it, and will scratch out your eyes as well. Rapunzel is lost to you. You will never see her again."
The witch pushed the prince so hard that he lost hold of the window. Down, down he fell. The prince landed on some bushes below. That helped with the fall, but the bushes had sharp thorns. Some of the thorns went into his eyes. The prince was blind.
For 2 years the poor blind prince wandered the world, looking for Rapunzel. From morning to night he called for her, but it was no use. At last he reached a desert. One day he heard a beautiful voice singing. "Oh," he thought, "I know that voice." It was his dear Rapunzel. He went closer and closer to the voice he knew so well.
"My prince!" called Rapunzel when she saw him. The two of them hugged tight. Two tears of joy fell into the eyes of the prince. All at once he could see again. And what happened next? Well, I'm sure you can guess. The prince and Rapunzel went back to the kingdom where the prince lived. They were married as soon as they could. The prince became king of the land and Rapunzel became queen. The two of them lived happily ever after.
Started. Oh my god! I just.
Hi, Adriana.
Hi, Chelsea.
Did you read the Rapunzel story already?
Yeah, I did. I like it so much. Very interesting.
Yes, it's very fun, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So can I ask you some questions about it?
Yes, can.
All right. So first, what do you think about this story? I mean about Rapunzel.
I think that these stories are very easy and fun to read. It is full of emotions that it allows us to feel what the character in the story tries to deliver to its reader. I think that is probably why Rapunzel is one of the most famous fairy tale storybooks among the children's and also among all people of every age. Don't you think so?
Yeah, I agree with you. I really like it when I was in primary school back then.
Yeah, that's right. True. I like it too.
Yeah, we can obsess with it. Like, wow.
Yes. And Which character do you like the most?
Oh, it would definitely be the Rapunzel's father because he is a caring person. Like you can see in the story, he willingly go took the rampion for his beloved wife, although despite knowing that taking the rampion at the witch house might be dangerous and risky, right? So I think
True, true.
I kind of like it,
I agree with you.
right? Okay, so
Yes.
which character you dislike the most?
The character that I dislike the most would be Rapunzel's mother. It is because she is very selfish. She knows that it is difficult to get the rampions from the witch garden, and that she asks for it even after the husband take it once from the witch garden.
Yeah, right. I really agree with that.
Yes,
I think she's just craving for the rampion. Like she won't die if she didn't eat it at all.
especially since she already ate it once. I think it's more than enough.
Yeah, that's so greedy.
That's why. And also, why do you think that Dame Gothel doesn't want Rapunzel to connect with the outside world?
In my own opinion, I think the witch Dingotel is lonely,
Hmm?
or she might not unable to get pregnant or have a family. So that's why she took Rapunzel away from everyone, especially from her biological family.
True.
What other endings that you prefer or you think suitable for Rapunzel?
I think that other endings that are suitable for Rapunzel is the witch fell down and died instead of the prince turned blind, and also Rapunzel get to know her real parents would be the best ending because I am sure that Rapunzel's real parents would be missing their daughter very much, but because of the agreement that they made with the witch, they cannot do anything.
Yeah, right. I want such ending.
Yeah, and also other version of Rapunzel, they end up know their daughter, right?
Yeah, but this version of Rapunzel, it doesn't mention at all about the biological
Yeah,
parents, right?
true, true. And also, in your opinion, don't you think that Rapunzel is curious about her real parents?
Actually, this version of Rapunzel story doesn't mention whether Rapunzel was being told about her biological parents. So probably, if I were her, I probably wouldn't think that I have another parents. But as I grow up, I might think that I belong to someone else since the witch treat me so bad. Like, yeah,
True,
I might
true.
think of that.
Especially even when our real parents got us, we also think like, am I really their child?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's so
Yeah,
accurate.
true, true.
Okay, next, if you were Rapunzel, would you keep
Hmm.
your hair long like her?
No, I won't because even shoulder length hair are difficult to take care. I don't think I can take care as long as hers one.
Yeah, that's impossible, right? That's so long.
Yeah, that's why. Okay. And also, if you were the prince, would you want to get to know Rapunzel and fall in love with her just because you heard her singing?
In my opinion, voice can make us fall in love too. But if I were the prince, I probably do the same thing as he did. Like, for example, he attracted to the Rapunzel's voice and decided to met her. I probably did the same thing. Like, I maybe fall in love with her after I met her.
Makes sense, makes sense.
Next,
Mm,
what do you think about Rapunzel's mother, who is a selfish person?
I think I really don't like her because, like I said just now, it seems like she is taking advantage of her own husband when her husband is willing to do anything that she wants. Like just now, she already ate the rampions once, and yet she wanted more and more. It's like very selfish.
Yeah, I know, right? I don't like her at all.
That's why. So the next question, do you think that the villagers know that the witch took Rapunzel with her?
Actually, the story doesn't mention about the villagers, but I think that the villagers already tried to search for her since the Rapunzel parents must tell them about what happened to their daughter, right? So they must know and they must try to search for her. But I think
True,
they
true,
stopped searching for her because scared of them go to the dark magic. I think.
true. Especially the witch are very bad.
Yeah, right. She must do something to
Yeah,
prevent it happen.
true, true. I think that is all for our interview today.
Yeah, I think so. I think let's say goodbye to everyone.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye, Kelsey.
Bye bye. Thank you for
See you
watching.
soon. Thank you
See
for
you
watching.
soon.
Bye.
Bye bye.